Championships Brawlhalla 2v2 champs. Let's go.
All right, get into game one. It's definitely going to be okay. I was going to say it's going to be a couple of timid moments, nothing too wild, and already they prove me wrong. Immediately swinging.
I would normally say that, but Blitz plays their brand so well. Right. The rush down is the name of the game. Blitz is going to get in your face and get going ASAP. But one of the things you got to make sure, of course, is that you're not doing it too crazy, because if Jakey's not there to follow up, Teros is going to be put into some weird positions.
Right, already we see a couple of those 2v1s work out. Teros on the back foot a little bit, and the weapons from red team just cover so much stage. It's kind of tough for blue team to get a position, but already stuck at the ledge right now. Oh, hold on, good response, though.
All right, we got recovery coming through. You got to dip down underneath that. You do not want to take that axe ground pound. A good job from Sgrape as well, noticing that Blitz was just looking for one of the two of them to budge first. That sider's going to set up. Actually, they're going to split off. I thought they were going to 2v1 Sgrape, but instead it doesn't matter because xJcoolJ wasn't able to make it back.
Right, and we see the X factor of Teros already. Each of those stray hits are just so big in terms of knockback. It's kind of tough to recover. And speaking of recovery, oh, what a move! What a pickup! Yeah,
you want to make sure you close those out consistently. KO power is not lacking on the blue team. Right. Well, we mentioned it before. Val, Teros. You have consistent free combos with your sword. You have the ability to still close out plenty with gauntlets. Doesn't matter. But that is gonna finally close out those first stocks, and the double KO answer right back.
That's huge right now. The stocks are even, but the damage definitely tells a different story, especially, I mean, we're looking at an orange on Sgrape. Still pretty comfortable, but can't take too many stray hits, but thankfully red team on the offensive, and so oppressively too.
It's all about tempo setting early. You want to make sure that you try to put some fear and establish that. Of course, you also want to make sure that you're covering these platforms, and that neutral sig from the sword is a great way to do exactly that.
Some good damage and some fantastic knockback on both of the red team members. Now kind of on the back foot a little bit, but this is a big opportunity here. That vertical pressure looks so phenomenal with those tools from red team, but now stuck on the back foot, and you do not want to find yourself on the receiving end of some of these combos.
AG, this has been pretty close so far too. Actually, for our first match of the day on stream, everything is played off, but the axe recovery comes through. This is an opportunity to try and double up on the Sgrape, but Sgrape smartly dodging around, but that's a three-piece quick and in a hurry, just avoiding getting hit by the recovery too. That might have taken it out, but that's gonna do it. And now xJcoolJ has to fight the 2v1 down 3 stocks.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's so hard to get off the ledge in general, but let alone in the 2v1. You can tell blue team is ready for the pickup. Maybe a little bit too much, but still making it back.
I like the attempt too. You try to go out, you try to go down there, you try to catch that dare, but swing it a little bit too close to the sun, if you will. Actually, go a little to the depths of hell. But then against the air temple, everything's kind of upside down, if you will.
Good point.
Just notice, like, what architecture going on. Even with the ability to airbend, it's like you had to put in some work to hold those up in the background.
They were flexing. They didn't have to do all that. But I like the play here. Kind of stuck at the ledge, but you have so many options here to try and, slow it down a little bit, but one hit is all it takes. Another big Teros hit coming in from Blitz, and what a game. You were saying how close it was, and I don't think you could stress how close it was. It was so back and forth throughout.
Well, much like, it kind of flowed into what you said in the air. Dua Lipa said it best, possibilities, right? You got to make sure that you go ahead and take every single one of those open possibilities that you can. If you aren't capitalizing on a team like xJcoolJ over here, I love that combination of a name. Completely by accident earlier, but that's the way it's sticking now. If you don't establish an early message to them as a team with double spear, which is doing phenomenal right now, they're going to run all over you. And that's not what Blitz and Jakeyy did.
Right. And
honestly, that's exactly what they did. Excuse me.
Well, yeah.
It's like, they didn't do any of that. Well, actually, they did, bro.
I was going to let it slide, but it's so tough, too, because like we mentioned earlier in game one, too, the red team has so many tools to take a lot of the space, so it's hard to approach. But Blitz still living up to the name, like you said, very on brand, finding a way around all of that and still getting these hits. And, Jakeyy also, with the gauntlets, been pretty phenomenal as well. But
yeah,
now red team looks comfortable.
I kind of like the switch here to Demon Island for the red team, too, because this is going to open up your horizontal gameplay. Your side lights are going to become much more viable. And being able to use those big SIGs, like we just saw, side SIG, D-SIG from Sgrape, they're all going to put in a lot of work. But the Lance, specifically, is going to put in a lot of work at these higher damage windows. You don't need to convert it to a combo. You just need that one-sider.
But instead, speaking of, what a pickup, too, off of the team combo. And another fantastic hit. Unbelievable. Blitz finding him right now when it matters the most.
Remember when we didn't see Teros for a while? What a time. Duke, I feel like Duke was just out there in the back. It's like, come on, bring my boy back. Well, right now it's time to bring it back for the blue team. They went down 2 stocks right away. They did start off with a lead, but making sure you establish that same pressure that you had last game, it seems like they haven't dropped that, AG.
Yeah, no, they're still putting it together. And look at these pickups. Each hit, you can tell the teammates are just ready for the pickup. And another phenomenal vertical hit. Blitz taking the 3rd stock.
Yeah, I mean, actually, you're very right on the, like, their team communication has been key. Even Blitz, right after that sword neutral sig, was trying to get in a position to go cover, but it wasn't lined up. GC neutral lights, though, might be enough. Gonna go out there and get that quick nair. Very smart. Make sure you help save Jakeyy. That way you get a little bit more time. And now the reversal side air over on xJcoolJ gives a free opportunity to go down there and catch that D-sig. Was not prepared. And now all of a sudden, Sgrape 2 doesn't get the wall touch. That's a massive miss on the wall touch. And now once again, we're looking at a 2v1, but this time it's xJcoolJ that has to do it.
Unbelievable. And that was all just from some really good support from Blitz too, letting Jakeyy get back and just make a statement. Just phenomenal hits found from Jakeyy, and look at these combos. They are ready to move on.
Yeah, now you're in a terrible position because you have to play around it's trying to play around the Teros Sigs at the ledge. You already know it's not, even with hammer not there, one of those is chunking half of your health. You're in the deep orange. You're probably not making it back. But as stated by the chat too, look at Jakeyy go. Even though he only had 2 of the KOs, the way that Jakeyy was able to line up most of those kills, or excuse me, KOs for Blitz was huge, because it doesn't matter at the end of the day if you had all 6 or if you only had 1. If you were able to contribute to your team so your teammate was able to get the closeouts, then you get the W.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that the stats can't really convey, right? It's something you have to watch the whole match for. But Jakey's sort of X factor in that game was getting the openings. And sure, like the damage, Blitz did more damage, but it's because Jakeyy got those neutral wins and then sent the other people flying to Blitz, and then Blitz was there to capitalize. And Blitz is also really good at making sure Jakeyy got back when it mattered. Yep. Really good stuff. I like the stage switch up, though. Red team needs to make it happen.
Yeah, we're going to see the Teska switch, too, so we're going to move our way off of the... What was it before? The Orion. And we're going to go over to Teska. So I think one of the things they realized is that their commitment to spacing was not strong enough to compare to what damage they were taking from Teros. So instead, they're going to go a little bit faster, try and get the gauntlet combo lineup in there, and the boots, to be able to try and hopefully send them over to xJcoolJ to finish the job. But AG, even with this switch, Blitz and Jakeyy are just throwing hands.
Yeah, it's kind of rough so far. Sgrape can't find the opening, just meeting, you know, the business end of the axe from Teros instead. Finally trying to make something happen here, but red team definitely on the back foot. Kind of a rough start, and already the stocks are flying. The Teros weapon swings are not what you want to hear if you're a red team fan. Neither is that big hit from Jakeyy off the stage.
Yeah, even though this may be a difference in seed, we're still talking about some incredible gameplay here from Blitz and Jakeyy. It was seeds 15-16 versus 23-45, but when you're in 2s and you change things up sometimes, you can make it work, and that's exactly what we're seeing from Jake and Blitz. Their communication, like you said before, has been phenomenal.
Right, and it's definitely, it's been so interesting to see how it works out, right? Jakeyy is playing these kind of like faster, you know, weapons. Okay, nice pickup. But Jakey's finding the opening still, and then Blitz is just so ready to follow up with those big hits from Teros. But finally, red team, some room to breathe, trying to force this 2v1, but Blitz, pretty elusive.
Bakey indeed from the chat, because they are indeed cooking, and that has not stopped. So far, not overcooked, but the that weapon's also coming in for a sneaky early KO if they were able to find that, but Blitz smartly noticing, and because of that, they were able to get that KO into Sgrape, but once again in a deficit.
Yeah, it's so important to find those opportunities and capitalize. Sgrape is looking really comfortable, and then really good pickup. Kind of takes the wind out of the sails, you know, the momentum shifts pretty drastically. Now blue team looking for a stray hit. It's going to be red team with the opening here. Ooh,
yeah, recovery from that point of the stage. Not usually going to find that KO, but oh no, gets reversaled by the recovery. They were able to get out at least for a second, but this side air is looking to take out xJcoolJ at any moment, who has to be very careful about this landing. Does find it, and Sgrape finally getting rid of that stock on Blitz.
Yeah, Blitz had a lot of damage too, so just one straight hit was going to do it, and that is a big swing. This is definitely a good one. Oh!
Oh my god, that was so close. I don't know if Sgrape backed off because xJcoolJ got hit in the midst of it. You do not want to have that KO go away, but they were looking for an early one off the top.
Yeah, almost getting it too. Okay, nice little weapon toss. Try and pick up the neutral. Oh, dude, Jakeyy is going crazy right now.
Yeah, oh my god, just missed the ground pound too. Side air should potentially get this KO here, but he's going to be able to get back up all the way. Ground pound misses his target. Side air will finally find it, and Sgrape, this would be big if they could find this KO on the Blitz.
Blitz makes it back somehow through a rock in a hard place, only to finally get that stock taken right back.
This is one of those times where 2v1 doesn't look too poor, because that sword in hand, D-Light recovery or one straight recovery might actually just do it on Sgrape. So it looks like he's trying to find that bundle up.
Yeah, already trying not to engage too much here with XJ, just looking for an opening maybe, but finally a little bit of a hit back to the ledge.
Look at this movement from Jakeyy too. Jakeyy only taking one hit in like what felt like a solid 15 seconds. 15 to 20 seconds in a fighting game is an eternity.
Right. And we're talking about the littlest hit too. We're just like only a few little pokes of that spear. What a swing! Unbelievable pickup from Jakeyy.
That was so good too, because even if you aren't aiming for the back line, they're both directly in front of each other. You finally got them to make a mistake and double up. It ends up hitting at least one. Misses the GC down heavy. So now what do? You're out of a weapon.
Yeah, big pickup from Jakeyy, looking to keep that pressure up. The weapon toss. Oh, no! Oh, unbelievable!
What a clutch from xJcoolJ, who was on the back foot that entire time. Wow. I definitely thought that Jakeyy was going to pull that off. 549 damage from Jakeyy, once again, just playing amazing. But the difference that time was they were able to slow down Blitz the first time all set. As you can see, the only one KO. The damage was still done, but the lineups weren't as often. So this, I don't know if it was so much the Tesca switch, more so that Sgrape and xJcoolJ. Now I'm screwing myself up with that xJcoolJ. I feel like they just played a little bit better that time round.
Yeah, I think so. I think they were really good at sort of smothering blue team, which has been a bit of a hard sell in the last couple of games, right? Blue team had a pretty firm stage control, was outranging, and we did see a little bit of that in the start of that game, right? We had, Tesca trying to find a way to get around all these big Taros hitboxes, but then once it was figured out, it was all of a sudden the red team show, and they were just moving so effortlessly around some of these hitboxes from blue team, and they were putting that pressure on the Blitz. And Jakeyy was trying to break it up a little bit, as was Blitz, but it just was a little too much too quickly, and I think blue team couldn't really get it back together in the speed at which they needed to. It was very close, and they almost brought it back, but it was just a little too late. Red team was happy to capitalize and keep that momentum going. And
they rebounded a couple times very well too, because there was the very high plays that could have led to that early KO onto Blitz, but they kind of overlapped each other, which was, I mean, it was a smart play. You were hoping that as xJcoolJ, that you were going to line up off of that boots recovery to get an axe recovery and seal the deal, but you got in a little bit too early. That could make you frustrated when you're down 2 games. Like, hey, dude, I need you to back off. We got to make sure that we don't have this happen. But that's not the way it went down. Instead, we get a game 4.
All right, I'm happy to get a game 4. I'm already so thrilled with the gameplay, and they are already back to scrap. A big pickup from Sgrape. Nice little team combo, catching both the blue team members. But
yeah, team combo straight to essentially orange. That's a huge start, and actually this could be a huge start right now. Left us down, but the save from xJcoolJ. If he doesn't get in there, that's most likely Blitz gone.
Unbelievable, really good route from XJ, but Blitz is making it back despite all of that. And now red team holding down the stage, but blue team fighting back really effectively from the ledge. As I say that though, Blitz back to back. Not gonna make it back.
Double pogo with that dare coming in from xJcoolJ. Very smart, trying to go for another pogo. Jakeyy, though, is getting caught up a bit more. It seems, we've seen this time and time again where you have a good lead. In that last game, it's not like it was dominant or anything. It went down to the wire. But you lose that close game up 2-0. And then AG, you already know how it starts going. You start feeling it. You start feeling the pressure, and you start overthinking. And xJcoolJ and Sgrape looks like they're heating up a bit here as they take the first 2.
Unbelievable stuff. I think we're seeing a lot of that confidence that we talked about, especially from xJ. A lot of these SIGs have been hidden, and honestly, they look like reads more so than reactions. So that's definitely a statement for the blue team. But blue team answering back, trying to keep this momentum while they have some, trying to force a 2v1. But xJ playing pretty elusive and, wow, phenomenal defensive options.
Yeah, there's one thing that Jakeyy's still been able to do consistently as well is the defense, actually the offense really has just never backed off. That's why Val's such a good legend to be able to use in this moment. But the 2v1 setup, that was almost a Val KO here on Lions at Orange if that just connected. Right, or if that was just a little bit more damage.
Yeah, so close to taking it. But all right, big opportunity here. Sgrape trying to find a way down, but not going for the 2v1. They're going to split off, and what a reversal. Jakeyy and Blitz going down. Red team looks so good right now.
Jakeyy going for the hard read on that side sig and putting himself out of position, leaving Blitz to just get beat down over by Teska. And now they're just up 2 full stocks.
Yeah, it's kind of tough, especially like, yeah, Taro's on the back foot, not exactly the best, and Sgrape is happy to capitalize. We saw so many fantastic combos. And they're going for that same 2v1.
It's a big opportunity, too. Once you see that, if it's axe instead of hammer, it's like, well, I'm not going to get reversal most likely here, so I'm just going to keep pressuring. And that was where Jakeyy's been putting in the most work. But the big difference, look at what a great play from xJcoolJ, making that is a message sender, if anything.
Yeah.
All analysis in the world just leads to bad times incoming. They have woken up.
It's also just, oh my goodness, it's so rough too, because that's like 3 options that your enemy just picked out. They're like, no, you're gonna do this and then this, and I'm ready for it. And what a follow-up. Sgrape and xJcoolJ with a statement of a game for
AG.
Yeah.
Look at that damage.
Talk to him.
That was 200 to 240-ish for Blitz and Jakeyy. Separated by a difference of about 250 each, because xJcoolJ, Team xJcoolJ, put on 500 plus each, barely getting hit that entire time, forcing a legend swap because of how badly that one went. And here in game number 5, they have to have to change everything up because they have no other option.
Yeah, it was rough. When xJ finally loses like a stock, I look up and that was the first stock that xJ lost, and I was like, oh, it's not great. But a lot of momentum shifts here. Obviously, the stage switch is important. The legend switch can definitely be important here too. We saw, the Teska combos are always so phenomenal. So maybe Jakeyy can put some of those together, keep that damage up, and those neutral wins that we talked about that were so important in the earlier games, and already really good showing from blue team, holding down the center stage right now. But Sgrape fight back.
And Teska, I mean, even beyond Teska's great signatures to line up for teammates, especially with Lance, the gauntlets just get the job done. They're so great at lining up into Axe. But now we see the boots into Lance switch. Unfortunately, Blitz wasn't really in position to be able to go for a side air after that, because that does line up very well off of the boots neutral sig. But even so, very, very, very close game here in game number 5 on Apocalypse.
Yeah, we're looking. Pretty much all of the teams right now are looking for a big hit. It's going to be the recovery and a nice response, too, from Jakeyy. Okay.
Jakeyy, once again, being the stout of defense so far amongst these 6. Up until that moment where he got pieced up a bit, but at least Blitz was able to get rid of xJcoolJ.
Yeah, really good response, too. It's hard to get a lot of hits into like every opening. The other teammate is just ready to capitalize.
I like how that weapon toss up was meant to interrupt that, and Sgrape was like, thank you. I'm just gonna go for another side air. Speaking of side airs, though, Jakeyy going all the way off stage, trying to catch the down air into the side air, but Blitz going to cover. Great save with that with the recovery to go and push him back on stage. Everybody rushing, and there goes the side stick, but it's gonna get punished by the side air, and Jakeyy's gonna go down.
Oh my goodness, but Blitz still looking for more. Finally, another stock flying off of the red team. They were holding on to it for a while too in so many tense situations, but xJ going down. Blitz we get a couple of big hits, and oh my goodness, Jakeyy with another big pickup.
This double swap here for Blitz and Jakeyy making all the difference right now. It seems like their team combos are back on the mark. They're just separating them so well. But there we go, D-Light Cider. Instead of doubling up onto Blitz, they're going to try and make him come over. And now they have an opportunity right here to maybe steal a couple way early. They need it. They're so far behind in damage, but it's been climbing back up so far, hitting Jakeyy.
Oh, good stuff from Blitz, capitalizing on the attempt of an edge guard from red team. Now holding down center stage, a lot of good weapons as well. And that vertical pressure.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness, so many great picks.
And maybe Apocalypse, but that's not going to matter too much. But the GC Neutral Light is going to close it out on Jakeyy. They've minimized a ton of the damage so far. AG Blitz, however, is not in a good position. You have to try and make it so you close it out soon. You have Spear Axis. D-Light Stare maybe does it. Recovery, no, won't do it yet. Another attempt at it, and he's going to miss.
What a route from Blitz. The weapon throw down, picks it back up, finds some footing here, but Sgrape looking for something big right now. They can take the stock off of Jakeyy, which may be a little bit of a tall order. Hold on.
Now you're unarmed as xJcoolJ, and you were in the sweat beads. It's one thing if you had a resource to try and land still. It's another thing if you have none and two teammates are around you to crowd for it. xJcoolJ looking for an attempt to try and maybe sneak one out off the top. But that's not going to happen against Ogrim on Apocalypse. So, amazing play, but they could not finish that reverse 3-0, and instead it's going to be Blitz and Jakeyy, who's